Welcome to the Krista Escamilla Show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Krista Escamilla Show. It's so nice to be sharing this time with you, and it's so nice to have our guests sharing this time with us today. Please welcome Clayton Williams. He's got a list of things that I'm going to call him, and he's going to tell me I'm wrong, but let's see. You're a great dad. You are a great hunter. You're a great businessman, and a great all-around person. So how's that for your introduction?
Well, we're going to go with some of that's correct.
Some of that's correct.
There we go.
Well, thank you for being with us today.
I look forward to it. I've been looking forward to it.
Well, I'm looking forward to it too, because I've known you just here and there through kids and school and seeing our kids grow up together through the years, but really haven't had a chance to sit down and just really get to know you better. So
Correct.
Today is our chance. And you are a lifelong Midlander, correct?
I started in Fort Stockton.
Fort Stockton, okay.
And I guess I moved here at 5 years old. Started going to Trinity there, where our kids go, so that's kind of neat to have that full circle thing.
That is.
I didn't last long. I moved to San Antonio into a military school in 6th grade.
Okay.
Yeah. So military school for a couple of years there, and I came back here and tried Midland School again, and didn't work out as well. So I ended up traveling around the state, going to different institutions.
Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
Rehabs, middle, different kind of things like that. So, yeah, had a little run of bad luck.
Well, but to me, I don't think there's anything bad about that. That's what creates our life path that we're supposed to, and our journey, right?
I agree.
What did you learn during that time of traveling around, especially military school? What did you learn?
That was
the biggest life lesson you learned there?
I don't know. I didn't learn much discipline. Like I said, I was having trouble on different levels. Let me turn that down.
Oh, sure, you're good. My phone goes off all the time.
And
don't worry.
So, I guess a little bit of discipline as well. Discipline as well as personal cleanliness and wearing a uniform. Learning how to make that thing look right and how to dress right. I guess that was a big one. Eating, they taught you how to eat right there. There was several things that they taught me, but discipline, probably not so much. Yeah, I still was running wild.
But you eventually, you got disciplined enough, right? You got married to a beautiful wife and have kids. So something happened good there.
We did. We got it figured out. I ended up, like I said, I didn't finish high school, so I got my GED. I was a couple years behind, and it took a while to get caught up. And like I said, kept getting in trouble. And so I'd like to tell everybody I got my degree from the streets and from Texas A&M.
Very good.
So I ended up finally getting through school and getting that phase completed.
That's awesome. Then when did you decide you wanted to come back to Midland? Because, I'm not a lifelong Midlander. I've been here 24 years. But all of, it seems to be a theme where everyone wants to get out, right?
Agreed.
But then they can't wait to come back. Because, see, I love Midland. Since I'm a transplant, right, I've just fell in love with it right off the bat. But not a lot of people have to go other places until they love it. What made you want to come back?
I traveled about quite a bit. And Christy and I met there at A&M, and we got married there, and we ended up in Alpine.
Oh,
gosh. I love it there. I
what
love
a
the
beautiful
mountains.
place.
I love the people there. And she was a teacher. She was kind of the breadwinner, and I was day jobs working on ranches, and I did some substitute teaching. And
awesome.
That was kind of neat. And met a lot of the people there in Alpine. We loved it there. And but we weren't doing very well. We weren't making a lot of money. We were kind of drifting about. And when we first had our first son, my dad said, come back to Midland, come to work in the oil field. And that's what we did.
Awesome.
Yeah, it worked out well.
That's incredible. So you come back to Midland, and gosh, what a great place. I mean, it really is. The people here of
I
West
couldn't
Texas.
stand it. I tell everybody when they go, tell us about Midland, and I tell them it's dirty and it's dangerous and it's ugly, but we love it. It's ours.
Yeah.
That's right. Don't come. And so we can keep everybody out here. That'd be great.
So let's talk a little bit about the next step in your journey, because hunting, I know, is a big part of your life.
Agreed.
And I just know that because my husband has mentioned it a couple of times. He said, "Gosh, look what he got, this week," and he'll show me pictures. How did your love of hunting foster?
My dad started that with me. I started at a very young age, hunting javelina, rabbits, and small stuff. And
was that an alpine or even
that's
before
an alpine.
that? Okay.
And that was an alpine. And then grew up. We had a place in Wyoming, and I would go up there and hunt prairie dogs. It's one of my favorite passions still. And from there, I just kept growing and hunting, and I didn't get to hunt as much as I wanted to. I mean, that's expensive.
Yeah.
And so it did take to be an adult and get through having to sell the oil company and move along, and which was a life-send, a life-changing event for all of us, and especially us. And since then, I've definitely taken on a lot of hunts. This last year, I've done 15 days out every month.
What is it you love the most about it? Like when you're out there?
I don't know. There's a lot of accomplishment. I mean, I like being outdoors as well.
Yeah.
I was an outdoor employee. I like to be outside, and I like guns, and I don't know, I just put all that together.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fantastic.
some fishing as well. So I mean, that's I fish as well. I just
Yeah,
got back from
I
Panama
love-
on Chalk Star Lodge, and beautiful there as well.
I love fishing.
Yeah.
There's nothing like being out on the
Agreed.
boat. It's so beautiful. Do you have a favorite place that you've hunted or fished?
You know, I love them all, but it kind of runs in phases on where I want to go and what I want to hunt. And my wife and I we love Spain. We actually, we travel there quite a bit, two or three times this last year. And
Have you been to, is it Morocco? Have you been
we
to?
have not.
So our son went there this summer and said it was incredible. And from the pictures, the diving and the fish.
there we go. Beautiful.
Oh my goodness. Am I saying that right? Is it Morocco? I don't know. Now I'm going to have to Google or
There we
ask
go.
him. But I believe that's what he said. And he said the water was clearer than he's ever seen. And so I've heard Spain is beautiful.
It's beautiful. The people are uber friendly. The food is amazing.
Yeah.
That's one of the top destinations for culinary food. And,
He said that,
and I'm
yes.
saying that right, but we love it there.
Yeah.
So that's one of the hot spots for me. Another new place that I've been going to is Mexico. I love mule deer, and I've been chasing a lot of these critters around, and kind of had an epiphany, an awakening, going, what are you doing up here doing stuff that you really don't like and doing stuff that you don't enjoy when you could be going down and shooting big deer in Mexico? So I plan on doing that quite a bit more coming up.
That's awesome.
Yes, ma'am.
Incredible. Let's talk about oil and gas a little bit. You said that oil and gas is part of your life and part of
Absolutely.
West Texas. And I think a lot of people, ourselves included, being business owners, they always go, oh, what's the tip or what's the trick to having a successful business? What advice would you give to someone that is either new to oil and gas, is new to West Texas, on how to run a successful business?
I really wasn't on the running side. I was always an employee. But I think being open to new things, I mean, if you've got to really pay attention to what's going on and the new trends. And
Yeah.
I've been out of the oil industry for 6 years now, and there's no way I don't think I'd be able to get back in. It's already gone so far past me, the technology, and almost you have to stay there with it. And I loved working in the oil field. I really did. I love the people. I love the camaraderie. I love
Yes.
the puzzle. Working on wells was always like a puzzle to me, and some of it's fun, some of it's not that much fun. But working with people, trying to organize your time and having people show up at the right time. And I had some great teachers. A friend of mine, Joe Morrison, another friend of mine, Russell Pullen. I had an amazing boss, Matt Swerks. I couldn't have done it without those 3.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, it was great.
Did they give you any advice through the years that
Oh,
you
for
still go
sure.
back to every now and then and you're like, oh man,
I don't know about life advice, but they sure helped me a lot with oil field and teaching me the different lessons on how to make stuff work and why it worked, and being having enough faith to let me do it.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it was great.
Because mentorship is so important. I
Agreed.
think everybody needs mentors in their life. And you're a parent and I'm a parent, and we can tell our kids something, right? Till they're blue in their
Right.
face. And are they going to listen to us?
Right.
Probably
But
not.
somebody else is gonna
But
teach 'em
someone
easier.
else can teach them. And so mentorship is so important, with whether it's in business, in oil field, in teaching, in nursing, and whatever business you're in.
Agreed.
Right. I mean, I think mentorship is probably one of the underutilized, it's one of those things we don't talk enough about.
Agreed.
So I love that you shouted those 3 guys out.
Nobody's get here on their own, and
No.
whenever we've always laughed in the oil field if somebody says they know it all, I've seen it all, and gosh, you want to find somebody else to get your mentorship from because they haven't. There's more stuff coming all the time.
Isn't that the truth?
It's a great industry.
It is a great industry. And so I know, we have listeners all over the world, Clayton.
Oh, nice.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
I just thought, maybe
try it
10
out, see what
people would
happens.
listen from Midland,
There we go.
in Odessa, and maybe Fort Stockton and maybe Alpine. But, when we look at our demographics, it's all over the world now. So I try to give a good glimpse of what West Texas is
Beautiful.
like, because I think it's so amazing. And I think what we do here is amazing.
Sure.
And so I want to hear some of your favorite, stomping grounds here in West Texas. Like if you're going to go to one restaurant and you're going to tell someone that's coming in from across the world, which one would it be?
It depends on where we're at.
Okay, good. So tell me all of them, all
That's,
your favorites.
Alpine has got some of my favorite restaurants on the planet. A newer restaurant a friend owns over there is called, he's going to kill me, Spicewood.
Okay.
So it's on the west side of town. It's a newer restaurant, and but some of the older restaurants there is a place called Alicia's, and they have the best burgers you're gonna eat. They're just amazing.
Oh, I love that.
Another restaurant
Love
called La Casita is amazing. I love that as well.
I have heard of La Casita. I
you
think
go.
we've eaten there. Yeah,
That's
Alpine.
right. Yeah,
Alpine,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Everybody
We've eaten
eats
there.
there. Yeah,
Al
they eat
said,
there.
yeah, of course we've eaten there.
Yeah.
Good
Chile
stuff.
verde with rice and beans.
Oh, there you go. Chili
There you
verde,
go.
rice and beans.
They have the most amazing queso as well. Not like anywhere else you've ever been.
Well, I think that's Texas. I mean, our
Yeah,
queso
there we go.
is the best. Our kids, we took them to California a few years ago.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm from California, and they ordered queso at the restaurant, and they're like, "We don't have
What is this?
queso."
Yeah,
What
what is this?
what are you talking about? And the looks on their faces were just shock because they thought everybody had queso like we do in Texas. Nope. So you need to come and try it if you're from another part of the country. What about like immediate West Texas? Do you have some other favorites?
You know, I worked a lot in Andrews, and there was a place called Tortas and More.
Oh,
what an amazing
okay.
restaurant. Yeah, I really liked
Okay.
that. We ate a bunch at the Western Grill, and
Oh, yeah.
there's a Cassidy's Sub Shop.
Oh, okay.
Very, very good as well. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Some shout outs
That's right.
for our restaurants.
Amazing
I love to
food.
support our local restaurants and businesses. Let's talk about parenting advice. I know you're going to be like, oh, really? You want me to give parenting advice? But I think as a parent, I learn something every day from our kids, right? I'm sure you've learned from your kids. Do you have any parenting advice for people listening and just like, hey, you know what? This will help.
I don't know. You know, my advice, I guess, I learned from my sister. I liked the way that she raised her boys, and
Oh, I
so
love
we
that.
wanted to follow the way they did it, and we spent a lot of time with them. I was traveling a lot, you know, working in the oilfield, gone a lot, and so Christy was there with the boys. But I don't know. We didn't let them act out. We showed them love, and we still do. We don't have temper tantrums. We work them through, and yeah, I mean, I think both of our boys are well adjusted to this point, hopefully, and yeah, it's been a real pleasure.
They're great because one day, and I've never told you the story because this is our first time really visiting, right? And so I was like, there was this kid in the stands, and he was cheering on someone out there on the basketball court, like he was his biggest fan. And I thought everybody needs a guy like that. And I asked my son, "Who is that?" And he said it was your son.
Oh, nice.
And I just thought, everybody needs somebody like that in their life,
Yeah.
right? And that's what you want. You know, we just want to raise good humans, right?
Sure.
That's the goal.
That's right.
Is
Agreed.
raise good humans. And so good job. You guys
Yeah.
are raising good humans.
I think we've done well.
Well, we do something called Quote of the Day, Clayton, and I love this because I'm a big quote girl. I live my life by quotes. So you're just going to pull one out, read it, and say, what does it mean to you?
Motivated.
So you got the motivated card, all right? So now you're going to read what it says right there and tell me what that means to you.
Golf is not a game of perfect.
Yes.
Well, I'm not a golf player.
That's okay.
So,
we could use that as anything, really.
Agreed,
Life is
agreed.
not a game of perfect, Dr. Bob Rotella. What does that
let's
mean
see,
to you?
motivated. I don't know. You got to keep going. You got to keep trying. If you quit, you know, you see what happens when you don't. I think you see that in a lot of people that have quit early in their lives, and you find it easier to quit each time you get something hard.
Yeah.
And pushing through those tough times.
Yeah.
That's I think it's a great motivator. I mean, not quitting. You know, when you think things are tough, you know, time heals all. Mm-hmm. And I believe that as well. My tough times that I've had were, you know, just go, wow, this is terrible, and knowing that it's going to be all right, just got to push through.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I love that. Do you have a quote that you live by or that has really maybe helped you during those tough times?
You know, not really. I'm sure if I thought about it for a while, I could come up with something for you.
Well, if one pops in by the end of the podcast, throw it out there.
Beautiful.
But I love that about being hard because, you know, we tell our kids you can do hard things. And I think it was one of our recent guests even said that self-esteem is brought through doing
Agreed.
hard things.
That's right.
And I love that because I feel like,
If
you know,
you've never worked or you've quit and you kept quitting, you see that self-esteem level.
yes, and so you have to fight through it, and
Right.
and there's going to be good on the other side, even the bad times. There's something good is going to come out of it.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about. I want to go back to something that is near and dear to your heart because you mentioned it earlier, the hunting, and you have a nonprofit.
I do.
That because you know. I know that I'm guessing you and I are around the same ages. I don't know your exact age, but I'm guessing we're around the same ages.
I'm 52.
Okay, so I've just turned 50. So
Okay, beautiful.
no, we don't have to guess. So we're about the same age. And the older we get, we want to give back more.
Agreed.
Right? And so you have now found a way to really merge the two, your love of hunting. Let's talk a little bit about it.
This nonprofit is down in Panama. Like I mentioned, I just came back from Tropic Star Lodge, and that's my sixth trip down there, and it's a beautiful place. And it's under new ownership now, and with COVID and the things that happened, they've really took a little time to give back to that community and keep jobs available, building different things there for the lodge. And one of the things they noticed was the school. And so you have Panama City is on the east, on the Pacific side of Panama. It's the largest city on that side. Well, the next largest city is this village at Tropic Star Lodge. It's about 1,600 people.
Wow.
And they cram 600 students into 4 small open-air classrooms. And it's a different place. It really is. And so what this foundation is about fixing the schools for them. So they built their own private school. They're going to start. They have just preschool right now, and hopefully have all the way up through the grades. And we're just starting out. This is a new foundation, and we're going to start trying to raise some money for these kids and help them out.
That's fantastic. And is there a way that people is the website?
Pull that thing up.
Feel free, because we want to give that website out if people would like to go online and support, that they could do that. And to me, anything that's helping kids, let's get behind it 100,000%. Is that even a word? 100,000%. But let's get behind it and get these kids, just a better facility for them to learn in, because as you and I both know, the learning facility makes a huge difference. And so
I just had that thing pulled up here.
That's
I'm having
okay.
trouble with it.
That's all right. No problem.
It's called the Future Minds Foundation.
Future Minds Foundation.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So go on there. Feel free if you'd like to share your support and lend it there. We would love that. Okay, we have another thing, Clayton, called Question of the Day. So we just mix them up. Let me mix them up here a little bit, and then you just reach in, grab a card.
Okay.
Okay. What card?
Sparkle.
The Sparkle card.
What is a skill that you wish you could learn, and why?
Oh, I like that.
There's a few skills.
Which one pops to your mind?
Oh man, I wish I could hold my temper better. That would be a great skill, but I've been working on it a long time and haven't had much success.
Wait, you've had much success?
No, not much success.
Well, I'm wishing you future success.
I'd bite my tongue off is what I need to do. I'd like to learn how to fly a plane. I've gotten close to it before. I feel like I've got a pretty good grasp of it. I would like to get my pilot's license. That'd be a neat deal to do.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
If there's anything if you could go back and tell your 20-something self, Clayton, what would you tell your 20-something self?
Boy, I'd have to start earlier than that. That's for sure.
What would you tell your 15-year-old self?
I don't know. I think that it's going to be all right. Quit trying so hard. Quit trying to prove something.
I love that.
Take your head up and look around instead of bashing it into the ground.
Yeah, I love it.
Yep.
That is a true statement that I wish all kids could really hear, and teenagers, because teenagers are tough.
You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, and you think you're the only one feeling these things.
Agreed.
Right? But there's a lot of other people going through what you're going through, and it's all going to work out.
I'm so glad we don't have to live in the age that these kids do with social media and not having that break from it, to go home from school and not have that thing in your head all day long.
Exactly. That's what Al and I talk about. When you and I were growing up, say whatever happened at school that day,
You got to come home from it.
You'd go home. You took a break.
Unless you got in trouble in school, then you got trouble at home too.
That's true. That's true. But you didn't have to go then on social media and see it. You didn't have to. You weren't tied to it the rest of the day. You actually had time to process it, and you had time to separate yourself from it.
Bullies couldn't hide either. Now bullies can hide.
Bullies couldn't hide. That's
right.
right. And that's true. That's a good point.
This is a good point.
That is.
Every bully, deserves a pop in the face.
Yeah, but that was the thing too. You had to deal with bullies on your own then.
That's right.
There wasn't this kind of help. I didn't go to anybody for my help.
Yeah.
I wasn't there, but I had to deal with it on my own.
Yeah. I love that. And I wish that for our kids, that they could put it down. But, as the kids get older, they learn to kind of self-moderate it a little bit. At least we found that with our kids, that they've learned, hey, maybe I need to take a month off from this app or something.
Sure.
And I think self-moderation with technology is good for all of us, not just kids, but even adults. I see a lot of people take that break on Facebook,
We
right?
need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Put that thing down for a minute.
Yes.
Enjoy dinner.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. There are no phones allowed at our dinner
That's a
table.
good deal.
Or in the interview, Al. So, Al, do you have any questions for Clayton?
I think one of the things is how much Midland has changed.
Oh, I like that. Yes. How has Midland
'Cause,
changed?
I don't know if we got here at the same time, but we've kind of known each other for a long time. And, we were around before Loop 250 was like an actual loop. It was
Agreed.
side roads.
Yeah, I heard it was just dirt.
Yeah.
Right?
Loop 250 in Garfield it was just a stop sign.
That's it?
Yep, and a black tar.
That's crazy.
Yep.
So how has Midland changed? And do you think the changes are for the good?
I think one of the things I have noticed is when I was a kid, there just wasn't anything to do here for kids. And you're starting to see these things pop up, like this thing at Air Park, and I'm hearing some of these other places where kids can go and play and have games to do, and it's not just, there's not nothing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm not saying that right or what, but I just feel like there's quite a bit more things to do here for youth.
Yes.
Maybe I'm wrong or not, but it seems like it.
Well, it's definitely changing. We have the trampoline park
There we go.
now.
Yeah, yeah.
We're getting a Top Golf.
Right.
It's not called Top
That's
Golf.
right. I remember
but
hearing
we're
that.
going to get something
Sure.
similar. And so I think that is good, you know, because I don't know about your kids, but ours would be like, well, we're just going to go drive around and get tea. You know, that's like the highlight.
There we go.
But they still love doing it, and you know but that's, you know, it's nice that we're starting to get like Centennial Park and
Sure.
some areas where they can like go and just get that energy out, that
Agreed.
good positive energy
Sure.
out.
Nobody knows where Delwood Mall is anymore.
What mall?
Delwood Mall.
I do not know what Delwood
That's
Mall is.
Illinois and Midkiff.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness! Look at y'all! Look at y'all,
That
veterans.
was the mall.
The mall. That was before Midland Park Mall was
We're
born.
old timers.
I love it. Is there anything that you would, you know, change going back? You know, we mentioned like, what advice would you give? Is there anything you would change, or are you like me? Like, I believe everything happens for a reason. I'm like, you know what? I think I'm right where I'm supposed to be.
I am right where I'm supposed to be. That's
love
for
that.
sure. I don't know if I could change it if I wanted to, but sure, I think I'd change a few things. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yep.
But then you wouldn't be where you are
I
today.
agree. Well, we'll see. We're not done yet.
Well, and I'm glad you said that. We're not done yet. What are some of your biggest goals? I'm like a big dream big, believe in yourself, never give up girl. Do you have any big dreams out there that you?
You know,
that
I've been chipping away at those things the last couple of years. You know, I was telling my wife we're going to have to figure out some new things to put up there on the bucket list.
Well, and I love your nonprofit. I think
Yes,
that
I'm excited about that.
to me, that right there, and you know, anytime you can help kids.
Well, what we're going to do is we'll start having a few parties here in Midland, and we'll have some auctions, and we'll give away a few trips down to go fishing in Tropic Star in Panama, and see if we can't raise some money that way and get the name out there a little bit. Midland is such a giving community, and I know that we love to give to the vets and the police and everything like that. But I think we'll find some people here that want to give to education as well.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm
Could not
looking
agree
forward
more.
to helping these kids out with the help of other people.
I think that's awesome.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
look forward to watching your nonprofit grow because I think it's exciting.
It is exciting, yes, ma'am.
Al wanted to know your favorite place to hunt. I know
Of
he
all the places you've been.
of all the places you've been, if there was just one place that you think is just incredible and everybody needs to see.
I think everybody needs to go to Spain. I think everybody needs to go to Africa too. I think the first trip to Africa is one of the most eye-opening experiences a person can have, whether you're hunting or just photo safari.
Really?
It is such an amazing country. The people are amazing as well, and you're going to see stuff that you just didn't even believe was true.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, tell me
You know,
what was the, I'm like, take me there because I'm probably not going anytime soon.
The first
Clayton.
time we went there, they ironed our clothes with a cast iron that was run on coal. You put it in the iron.
Wow.
And you know what? They cover their faces with clay. They're carrying stuff on their head. I mean, just no telling how far they're walking. One of the things that we did on this last trip was my boys. We took them for their first time, and it was important for them to see that.
Yes.
And we're driving down the highway, and here comes this pickup truck, and I don't know how many people are standing up in the bed of that truck, but there were kids and everything in there. And I showed my kids. I said, "That's how you'd have to travel here." You know, we take things for granted, and so many Americans. We all should be able to travel abroad and see how the other people live in these countries. We'd come back to this country with a whole new meaning of respect and appreciation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, we've got it way better than everybody else. We still are the top country, and to go out and see that for yourself, it gives you that appreciation to come back to this country and realize how well we have it here.
And I'm glad your boys got to see that
Agreed.
because I think that's important to learn that at a young age. You know, we learn as we get older.
Sure.
But why do you think we don't appreciate it?
I guess we don't know. We don't see it.
We don't see it.
We don't see it. We don't know how good we've got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I could not agree more. I think.
Yep. The richest person here is still, the poorest person here is still richer than the people over there.
Yeah.
And maybe that's not true, but I mean, as a whole,
Yeah.
you know, we've got it very well here.
What do you think we could do, you know, to support and to help other countries? You know, and I already told him, I'm like, I don't talk politics on my on my show. You don't talk religion or politics or anything. But with that said, what do you think? Just as our generation, what can we do to help?
You know, there's a great nonprofit here in Midland. It's called Amy Bell Blue Bag. It's a blue bag thing. Amy Bell Blue Bag. If you look it up, and they send blue bags, or you can carry them over there to yourself, and they send these bags to Africa, and it's to help the children over there. there. And
I love that.
Yeah, it's a neat organization, and it's worth looking into as well.
I love that. See, and I did not know that. I mean, and you think you would, we have so many amazing nonprofits, and
Sure.
I thought I knew them all, but I didn't realize
this is a great one. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to Google Amy Blue
Bag.
Okay.
Yeah. Amy Bell's Blue Bag. I'm close to that. I'm sure you'll find it with just the information.
We can find it. That's the good thing about technology.
There we go. It's going to fly out at some point.
We can Google it. I don't know. Google and I have a love-hate relationship. Yeah. Sometimes I love it, and then
so
other
much
times,
information right there.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, I think I'm an expert at something, and I'm not.
I only thought I knew what I was doing.
Exactly. Yeah, I always joke I'm Dr. Krista, no MD. There is no MD. I just Google. Every doctor right now is going, no,
That's
don't
not true.
do that. Don't do that. Any other questions, Al?
No, I think I just enjoyed listening.
I have too. I don't want it to end. I'm like, well, we can just keep talking. You know what I would love to know, what do you want your legacy to be?
Oh my! I don't know how many stains are on that thing already. I don't know if I could ever get it above board or not.
I know you can.
I'm looking forward to, like I said, we've done several other things that we've done, and Christy and I, we've been fortunate enough to give back, and we've given back to Trinity School, and we've done some to Texas A&M. Like I said, now I'm a part of this on the board of it, but we'll definitely both be a part of it by the time we're done. This is near and dear to us. Both she was a teacher, and I started my education in college as an education major, and so I have some feelings about that as well. And I look forward to seeing these things grow. I hope I can be a big part of it. Hopefully, I'll make a difference for them.
Yeah, and I'm sure you will.
Yeah,
I know
I'm
you
looking forward to
will.
trying.
That's fantastic. And I just thought of this. Oh wait, Al's got a question
I
too.
do think it's kind of cool, like all the places that you travel, like Spain and Mexico and hunt. You're affecting those people's lives too.
Without a doubt. And that's one of the things that people don't understand about. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Can you talk to us a little bit about that? How you affect
One of the things that people don't understand about hunting is how much you give back, how much money goes into those communities, and what happened to those. Think about those communities during COVID, that they didn't get any of those dollars. These people that don't believe in hunting, and that they Greenpeace or these other people that don't believe in hunting, they don't like hunting, and you ask them, what have you ever done for animals? If the person that just goes and buys their hunting license does more than those people do.
Yeah.
If all they're complaining, they don't give any money, they don't do anything to help, they don't put any animals back on the mountains. And these hunting organizations do. All these different conventions, Safari Club, Sheep Show, Dallas Safari, they're all set on auctions and giving things away, and they've all been donated, and that's all to put animals back on the mountain.
Yeah.
You won't ever see anybody that's not a part of that doing that.
Yeah.
They're just going to talk about it.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And so and we had talked a little bit about just how going there, he actually, his kids got to see it, just how blessed we are here in America too. So I love that you're helping others. I love that you've got, you and Christy have this heart of giving back. And I just want to ask you in closing, is there anything that we didn't get to really touch on that you're like, oh, I really want to talk about this today, didn't get it out, I knew I was going to be on this podcast? You have an open mic, Clayton Williams. Anything you want to say?
Podcast number 2.
Is there anything that we didn't get to talk about that you...
I'm sure we'll think of something.
Okay, well, good.
Fantastic.
Well, I want to thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for thinking of me and having me on.
Well, I just, what I love about this is we get to know our community members better. We get to see each other at games or high and by.
Yes.
But do we ever really get to sit and get to hear each other's stories?
Yes,
and and that's what I love about this. So if there's anybody that you want to see here in this, that you want to hear their story, you let me know. I didn't even get to ask you your favorite things. Really quick, favorite things. Do you have a favorite book?
Oh, I got several favorite books.
Oh,
So
good.
let's go Lonesome Dove. Let's start right there. That's one of my favorites, and if you've never read this book, too, it's an amazing book. It's called The Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test.
Ooh, I have not.
It's, the author of it is the same guy that wrote the screenplay for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It's a neat book.
Okay, I'm going to look into that one. Favorite song? Do you have a favorite song?
No, I have a bunch of them.
A bunch of them?
I love music.
Are you
All sorts of music.
okay, I was going to say country, rock and roll.
All
What's
that.
your genre?
All that.
All of the
Yeah,
above.
absolutely.
Favorite movie, and do you watch Yellowstone?
Oh, absolutely. Who doesn't watch Yellowstone?
Isn't
we
it
haven't
good?
watched this season. We were going to wait for the whole season to be done, then slam through it at
No
once.
spoilers then.
We haven't looked at any of it.
Well,
We've ignored it.
We just found out about it.
Oh,
So we
really?
just caught
even better. Yes, y'all get to. Yeah, you're going to be
We
addicted.
just found out about Netflix.
Yeah, we just found out on Netflix, really,
Oh,
in
really?
the last year.
Oh my goodness, there's a lot of stuff y'all are behind on.
I know. That's what our kids
That's
tell
right.
us.
Yeah,
I mean,
y'all
they
be
give
at
us
house locked in the doors for a while.
Yes, and then we binge watched over the holidays Yellowstone, and our kids were like, "Hello, your family's out here, and we're like, sorry, we're on season 3
It's
now.
like drugs.
Yeah, we're like, we got to stay in here and watch season 3. Sorry, but I love that you watched that. Do you have a favorite movie though?
Oh, I have a bunch of those as well.
Bunch?
Yeah.
Is Top Gun one of them?
That's Al's. That turned out great. That was a good movie. I was surprised how well that. You know what? I really like The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. What a great movie. Fight Club.
Oh, yeah.
You know the good.
Yes.
Steel Magnolias. Who doesn't know that? Like you cry at the end.
Steel Magnolias.
Lots of good laughing in there.
I love a good movie that you can laugh and cry, like Forrest Gump, Steel Magnolias.
That's a great movie as well.
Give me the laugh and the cry, and I'm there.
Good times.
Well, thank you so much. This has been a good time.
Enjoyed it.
I appreciate
Thanks
you.
so much for thinking of me.
And thank you so much. And we look forward to following. Let's give the web the name one more time, because I want to make sure that we get a lot of people supporting you.
It's the Future Minds Foundation.
Future Minds Foundation. Thank you so much, Clayton. Tell Christy I said hi, and y'all have a fantastic and happy New Year.
Thank you.
And we
Same
look
to you.
forward to seeing you throughout town. And now I get to say, hey, I know him more.
There we go. Thank
I
you,
love
guys.
it. Thank you so much, Clayton. And we want to thank all of you for sharing our podcast. The Krista Escamilla Show is growing, and it's growing because of all of you sharing it with people that you love. And we cannot thank you enough. So please pass us on. Someone that may need a little inspiration. Maybe they just want to feel like, hey, I got to know this person a little better, and I want to do business with them, because we are all about supporting local businesses and shopping local. So share it with someone that you love. And of course, thank you to our sponsors, Rig ID, Midland Cap Company, and also www.joincapclub.com and shopfrackle.com. So thank you so much. Don't forget, you know what my life mottos are, right? Right here. It's right here, Clayton.
Beautiful.
Dream big, believe, and never give up. You make it a great day.
I love it.